Welcome to the Marc Ben podcast. We are on episode 10, and I got a very, very special guest in the building. I met him from IG. Well, how did we meet? Met him from IG. Jumped in his DMs real quick. I'm like, I like the way I like this Focus Fridays thing. You know, I like what his mind is. So let me holler at him. Jumped in the DMs. Yo, what's going on, man? My name Marc Ben. The whole shebang. He was like, yeah, for sure. I'm down. Let's get it. When you want to do it? I'm like, well, let's do it Tuesday. And here we are Tuesday. Shakimo.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure having me, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you coming, man. I know you're busy, holidays and all of that, but
Not too busy, man.
Cool,
like I told you before, man, if you got a car, you can be anywhere.
True.
Be anywhere.
Yes, sir. So this is your first time on the podcast?
First time on a podcast.
That's awesome, man. Well, I hope that make your experience good so that when you get other offers.
I'm down, man.
Yeah.
I listen to podcasts, so it's not too bad, but it was my first time ever being interviewed, and I didn't think my Focus Fridays were, people were watching, but I didn't, think somebody would actually hit me up because they saw me on a Focus Friday. I was like, yo, I want to interview you. I was like,
For sure.
ending the year right, you know what I mean?
Exactly. For sure, man. And how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. I was with kids, family, chilling. I did work, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And Christmas was kind of the same.
Same thing. Chilling day. Went to the gym. So,
Okay. And so when we was talking on the phone, you are in the Army.
Yes, sir. Army National Guard.
Army National Guard. Okay. And you had a total of like eight years?
I did 4 years active. I was stationed in Colorado. Did my basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia. And then my 4th year in Colorado, I decided to come back down because my oldest daughter was here. So I was like, let me move back down to Miami, spend more time with her and go from there. I didn't get out completely. I just switched over to part-time.
Part-time, is that like reserved or?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
like once a month on the weekends and the 2 weeks in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if anything national, like when the pandemic happened, they call us up and then I had to be to work until they tell us, hey, everything's done.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so what made you join the Army?
I was not doing nothing with my life.
Yeah.
I was working at Walmart. I was a cart guy, grabbing carts. I didn't want to go to college, just got out of high school, and then I had a daughter on the way. So I was just like, I need something to get out of Miami, and I need a change. So my boy Gabriel, his father was in the military. He introduced me to him, and then he kind of convinced me, and that's what I went. And it was the best decision I ever made.
Okay. Man, well, I'm good. Glad that you made that decision, man. You're hitting out, you look good, you're in shape, man.
Went from 150 to like 205, and then I'm like right now I'm like balancing between like 198, 201. So
Okay. Man, that's what's up, man. And so you went to college. What college did you go to?
I've been to multiple colleges. I've been to Pike Peaks Community College in Colorado. I went to Dade, Miami-Dade College. I was going to Bel-Air University. I was going to school for criminal justice. Throughout that time going to school for criminal justice, I took a photography class, and then I changed my major completely, and I'm starting fresh over, and I'm going to the Art Institute for filmmaking and video production.
Wow. And where were you going in for criminal justice? Like, what's your major?
Just trying to be in the DEA.
Okay.
Wanted to get my bachelor's and then, become a police officer for a while, join SWAT, and then I was like, if I wanted to go federal, for sure the DEA.
Yeah.
No FBI, no CIA, just DEA.
So you just wanted to take a photography class, or you were just like...
Nah, it was an elective.
It was an elective?
It was given to me.
Wow.
I learned how to develop film, and then I asked my professor, can I take these same techniques that I'm using to a digital camera? She was like, yeah. So I brought my second digital camera, and then I just been practicing and going off with it. Been on YouTube University, watching videos back to back.
Wow.
So taking that one class changed me, and I've been stuck with it.
Wow, that's dope. I never heard anybody doing that. Like, I'm going for this. I got my plans. I'm gonna be police, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to federal, and then...
Listen, I thought I was one of those people who's like, dang, I changed my major again, but it's something I want to do. I lost the interest for the criminal justice. I did. I was just doing it just to do it because the Army was paying for me to go to school, and I was just like, just do it to get some education. But that photography class changed my life, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go to a school that I actually want to do something I actually want to do, and I love it. creating is art. I've always been into art, music, drawing. So, bam.
Man, that's awesome, man. I wish I should have took a photography class, but I did all mine on YouTube University, man.
Hey, YouTube you learn a lot. My favorite photographer, Peter McKinnon, Canadian.
Yeah, okay.
He uses Canon. I'm a Sony user, but everything I learned is from him.
Okay. Well, I'm a Nikon user, so I don't want to step on nobody's toes, but Sony is good though.
They all great cameras. They all do the same thing. It's what you're comfortable with. I had Sony. I thought Sony was the best. Yeah. Canon's just as great. Nikon's just as great. Everybody brings something different to the table, but you can do everything you can with both cameras.
He's lying. Canon is
what? Nah, Canon's not bad.
I'm just kidding.
One thing I told somebody was that Canon has flat colors versus Sony has very sharp images.
Yeah.
Canon images I feel like are too flat, but of course when you take it to post, you can do whatever you need to do with it.
Bring it to life. Okay. Yeah, I remember when I first got into photography, I was actually in a Bible study.
Okay.
And the woman that was over the Bible study at the time, she was a photographer. And just so happened, she brung down the camera. And I'm like, can I see that? Now I'll take you back. Back in my 10th grade year, I went to Robert Morgan and took a graphic designs course. So I was messing around with Photoshop and some other program. So we was just dealing with pictures. So I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, I think I want to try this. So I sold my PlayStation 4.
Oh my God.
I sold my PlayStation 4, all my games, just to buy my first Nikon camera. It was a Nikon D3400.
Okay.
It's a DSLR. It was one of those starter cameras. It was a good camera. And it was a crop sensor. So I got it. I remember taking a couple of days off work, just going to the park, just snapping, getting into focus. And then I remember doing my first, I ain't gonna say gig job, but it was for family. It was for New Year's. And I didn't have a flash. And I'm snapping pictures indoors. And they looking good on the screen. Man, I took it to the Lightroom. I'm like,
it's,
my gosh.
It's horrible.
I'm like,
horrible. My photos used to be too orange, too blue.
Bro.
Everything, it was, angles are wrong. It was too close, too far. Like now I'm just like, to this day, I still don't know how to pose people, but I'm just like, I always tell people, man, just be natural. Just be yourself.
Natural,
I'm catching your natural state. Because me telling you to position your hands here and there, it's just like, you look uncomfortable. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. So if you doing a backflip makes you comfortable, I'll catch you.
I'll catch it. Correct. Yeah, so I ran into that about too orange, too blue, too yellow. And I'm like, oh man. And I was watching like YouTube University. Oh, if you're shooting in automatic, you're not a shooter. You got to shoot in manual. I'm like, there's more I got to learn? Oh, so I had to learn the focal points. I had to learn the shutter speed. I had to learn all aperture. And I'm just like,
that's that photography class. I was like, you have no choice but to shoot a manual with a film camera. So it's either a hit or miss. And then when you take a picture, you can't look at the screen and be like, hey, this picture's, it's film.
It's either
you got a great photo or
you don't.
Yeah. So, but when I asked my professor, she was like, yeah, but you just got to shoot in manual. And I was just like, now my camera never goes on auto.
For real. Manual. Start shooting in manual. I'm like, all right, cool. Until I got into a paid gig. It was a paid gig, but thank God it was for friends and family. And it was nighttime. And I'm snapping, and I'm like, oh no, my ISO can't go under 100. Oh man, how am I get more light? Hey, can you guys stand over here? And I knew right then I gotta get flashes. Oh, this is flashes. Is you gotta do it this way, and it works this way. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Listen, I need a flash now. I got a 24 millimeter prime lens that does perfect in low light situations, but I still need a flash.
Yeah. Flash but primes is the way to go.
Flash, or I'm gonna just start carrying the light. Just start carrying.
Flashes are cheap though. They're very cheap. You get your stand and put it and position it. Oh man, it's especially you got a prime lens.
I'm still learning. I'm learning. See, you teaching me right now,
bro. All my lenses I have now is prime. I have nothing else. I've done the zoom and all of that. Yeah. It's good, but the quality is not as best as the zoom. I mean, that's the prime. The prime.
Yeah, primes it's one glass inside the lens and it's just sharp.
It's sharp. The colors explode. Oh man, I'm sorry guys, I'm into this photography stuff. I mean, we come to hear about no photography, man.
Hey man, photography is life.
It's fun, man. And you into video too.
Yes, I'm getting into videography now. Filmmaking, but also like learning how to do, like, my boy Jonathan, he's a bodybuilder, and I did like a nice video of him lifting. So I want to get into content like that. Maybe not commercials, but more just like lifestyle, vlogging, traveling, and then like I'll shoot his documentary when he becomes the next big bodybuilder. You know what I mean?
Okay, and actually, that's the very first video I saw. When I went on your page, I saw, and I'm just like, I like that. I forget the words he said. I think, do I have it here? Do I have it here? I don't have it here. But it was some of the words is something if you don't show up.
The hardest part
is to show that. And I was like, I like that. I like that.
The hardest part is showing up. When you show up, just do the work.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I'm scrolling through and I seen the helicopter video. Okay, I'm like, I like them shots right there.
Shot on the iPhone.
On the iPhone. And when I spoke with him, I'm like, well, that was a nice video. He was like, you won't believe it. I was with my manager. We went up. And I couldn't bring my camera gear, so I had the iPhone. I'm like, you shot it on an iPhone?
iPhone 13.
iPhone 13. I even showed my
the Pro.
Yeah. I even showed my colleague. He doesn't like to say it, but he's an ex-video food videographer.
Okay.
So he did nothing but like food.
Food is amazing.
Food, yeah. But the business part behind it, he was just like he even was shocked. He was like, that's an iPhone 13 Pro?
Mm-hmm. And that's awesome. Not the Max, just the
Pro.
The small. It was clean.
So man, that was dope. So what's the difference from photography and videography as far as the specs?
Moving pictures.
That's
moving pictures. Video, from what I learned, I hope anybody of my friends that are watching this that are it's just moving pictures. It's just, you took a picture and you're moving it. So each video is just each second is a picture that's moving. So, but with videography, you can tell a better story than with photos. Photos, it's a guessing game. They say a pictures hold 1,000 words.
Yeah.
With videos, if you set it up right, you can even tell a story without even sound.
True.
And just watching the video, just how you position your character, the shots, if the actor's good, the emotions that the person's feeling, that's something I always wanted to get into. I always wanted to be behind the camera, but also in front of the camera. So videography is amazing. And unfortunately, we're getting to the point to where now pictures aren't as big as before.
Exactly.
It's all video. People want to record everything, show everything. So I'm kind of following a trend right now. So I get into videography. I want to show the world what I see. You know what I mean?
Correct. Awesome, man. Yeah, you're right about that, man. And not only that, man, like photography is coming to a point, man. You got a phone now, so people do their own photo shoots.
Yeah, I mean, iPhones and the Samsungs, their cameras are like, sheesh, for a phone's like,
yeah,
but they won't beat Sony.
Yeah, they won't beat.
They won't beat Sony, man.
And also, I was gonna say the story at the end, but since I'm here, I remember doing a gig. And I was in the middle of the hood too. So I'm there. I'm just like, whatever, let's get it. So me and my wife, she's not a photographer. She was just there helping.
Yeah.
So I'm there. I got my flashes, the same 2 light boxes. And we're there and we're having a backdrop.
Yeah.
And it was for like a graduation. And I'm snapping pictures. This girl was in competition with me. She had an iPhone. All right. So back then, I think it was like an iPhone 11. I don't know. But she had the iPhone. So I'm there, and she's looking at me like, why they pay for you to be here? Like the iPhone takes like better pictures.
Negative.
She didn't say that in words, but I can see that in her actions. So I'm there, so she pulls out her phone. Mind you, it's like 8:00 at night.
Yeah.
There's really no street lights. That's why I have my flashes out.
Yeah.
So I'm snapping. And I see her, she's trying to snap the picture, and I'm looking over at her while I'm snapping. And it's coming out dark, grainy. She's trying to like.
You can't adjust the settings on your phone.
Not only that, you don't have enough light.
Yeah.
That sensor is so small. Like, so I purposely snapped the photo, a good one, and kind of like, instead of looking at it like this, I kind of held it out so that way she could see it. And she looked at it. She put her phone in her pocket and walked away.
Hey.
I was like, leave it to the professionals. You're all right.
And even if she did take good photos, it's going to be a lot harder to edit.
Yeah.
It's JPEG.
Exactly.
JPEG,
dark, small pixels, grainy. Good luck with that.
It'd be good for Facebook.
Yeah.
But
But good luck with that. So, man, so you have a website. You have a business.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has a business.
Shout out to my manager for building the website. She did it. She handles all the legal. I handle all the creation. I don't know much about legal, so she's the one that keeps me in check. So.
That's good, man. Like on the business side, I honestly feel the business side is way harder than the taking pictures and videos.
No, it is, because if she makes sure I have a contract with everybody, even if it's just me taking a photo, one picture, I need a contract. So again, I appreciate her for everything she's done. The website is amazing. So it's, hey, shout out to you. But yes, I have a business website, srimaging.com.
SR Imaging. I'm assuming the SR is your first and last.
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha.
Sir.
That's good. SR
for now.
Imaging.
For now. I get bored and I like to change up my name sometimes. So we'll see.
Okay. And I actually checked out the website and I'm like, this is professional. Hey, SR, was it sr.imaging.com?
sr-imaging.com.
You guys check that out. You'll see what I'm talking about. And y'all make sure you book him too. Don't play with me. Y'all better book this man for real, right?
Listen, but I'm with it.
Yeah. So I'm looking through. I'm like, it's so professional. This is awesome. I have a good guest. So hey, kudos on the
Thank you.
the website. That's awesome. And you got a manager, something I should have did. I try to do everything. Like I try to be a one-man show.
I knew I couldn't do it.
Man, I went on YouTube University, tried to learn the business
Even
side.
just trying to get the LLC, she helped me out. So I couldn't do it. Because I would have been shooting and just shooting and just shooting. And then I get a fine from the city because I took a picture of a building that I didn't get a release from. And it's just like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was just taking pictures.
I learned all that over these crazy years. I was doing so many. But yeah, that's one of the first things I did was create my own contract. And this is a secret, I'm dropping gems. So if you guys doing businesses or whatever, I just went on like Google and typed up basic photography contract. Got like a template.
And just copied and
reworded it, of course.
Yeah.
Make it's like it's in my name and, change some words around in the actual legal part. And that's that.
That's it.
Created an invoice.
Listen.
So whenever I take a picture, just like your manager say, can you sign this? Oh, but it's just you need to sign out. I can't take the pictures.
Yeah, she gets on me about that because I'd be like, it's just one picture. No, you need a contract because this person can be like, I want this picture. You can't get paid for it. I'm just like, okay, we'll do the contract.
Yeah, thank God nothing ever happened to me like that because I shot a lot of family and friends, but I can only imagine. I've heard stories, horror stories, people getting sued, and it's crazy. What about your manager? Did she teach you about I guess well, that's music, but it's kind of like masters, meaning don't sell your originals to the customer.
Yes.
Okay.
She literally goes over everything before we give the clients their work, anything like that. So
that's good, man. That's good. So I hope y'all had y'all pen out. I'm not dropping no more gems. That's it.
Oh, man.
So you shooting with the mirrorless Sony A7 III.
Full frame mirrorless.
Full frame.
Yes,
so there's a difference between crop, and I'm using micro 4/3 for the podcast. I know it looks great. It's just because it's a very small. I wouldn't dare shoot with that. Like, nah.
Listen, you can. I've met customers because right now I currently work at Best Buy, just camera department, so why not?
Okay.
People who shot on M50s, the Sony 6400. I know a dude, Isaiah, he has a 6400 and he does amazing work with it.
Yeah.
Like amazing. Like it. At this point, I'm realizing it's not always a camera. It's the person behind it.
That's true.
It's the person behind it.
But from life experiences through man, listen. I'm not gonna say I'm the best.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good behind the lens. I remember shooting a wedding and it was dark and I had one flash and it came out great.
Yeah.
It came out good. Then I shot another wedding, I want to say like a year later, same camera.
Then it came out.
With the flash and all, it was horrible. It was bad. I ain't gonna say it was bad, but it was bad. In my eyes, it was bad. They liked it. Oh my God, this is good. But to me, it was bad. It was grainy. I was just like, I see why there's a difference between crop and full frame.
Yeah, and then especially when it comes to pictures and videography, like my camera is meant for videography. It does great with photography, but comes to video, Never misses.
Yeah.
It don't miss.
Yeah. When I got a full frame, I shot in a similar scenery.
Yeah.
No grain or anything. It just makes it easier.
That, and if you have the perfect lens on there.
Yeah, the prime. Actually, with my older camera, I had the stock lens, so that could have been an issue too. I didn't have, because when I got my full frame, I made sure I dropped money on prime lenses. So that probably could have helped too.
I mean, now it's all prime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually go live real quick.
Okay.
But I don't use live as much. But.
Okay. We're going live. So we live.
Yeah,
we live.
We live on IG.
Okay. So the Sony 8, once the mirrorless camera started coming out, I kind of died out on the photography side. I'm like, should I buy a mirrorless? Not gonna buy a mirrorless. I think I'm good.
Mirrorless is the way to go.
It is. So if I was still doing photography like that, I would have been copped the mirrorless. It would have been a Nikon though. But you know.
Listen, Nikon is coming out with the mirrorless camera, so I'm not gonna talk.
No, they have a whole lineup now.
Yeah, it took them a while.
Sony make them too.
Of course.
Yeah. So
why not go to the best to get your? I'm gonna leave that between them. All right, I'm just saying, Sony's at the top. If it ain't the movies, it's the equipment.
For sure.
No,
that's true. I got the Sony PlayStation controller right there. I'm a Sony's fan now,
Hey, see, that's it. If it was an Xbox, I would have walked out. You know what I mean? I would have walked out.
But I was just talking to one of my colleagues the other day. I'm like, usually in the gaming world, if you started out with PlayStation, you're probably a PlayStation dude.
Yeah.
If you like Xbox, then you just Xbox. So
I mean, even like don't get me wrong, I had an Xbox, but then it's just like, but I only had it for one game. And it was Gears of War. Those were my favorite game. But then I went back to Sony and been there since.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't got the 5. There's too much craziness going for the 5. But when I'm able to walk into the store and just pick it up and walk out, then I'll get it.
See, my patience short, so I had the 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for the 5. I'm like, you know what? I'm finna go PC. So I just built my own PC.
I want to do that, but just for like the filming and the photography. Because when you start shooting, when you go from 4K to 8K, things get wild. So when I start making movies, then you know what I mean. We'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely need a powerhouse for sure. But that's probably one of the main reasons I got it too. Like if I ever want to step up to 4K, I could just transition over like that. I already have the computer built, so we're good.
And if you got a great graphics card, then.
Yes, I have the 1660 Ti, so that pushes out 4K. It actually pushes out 4K with ease. And I ain't gonna get into too much computer stuff, but I have the Ryzen 5 3600 that's equivalent to like an i7.
Yeah.
Intel i7, and then I got
I'll get into the PC world when it's time.
It's dope. All right, man. So we're going on to the Focus Friday series.
Friday.
So. What's the message behind the series of your Focus Fridays?
So Focus Fridays, I started Focus Fridays back in 2019, going on 2020. I was at a low part of my life, and I had a friend of mine introduced me to podcasts. Started listening to podcasts, and one thing I've learned is that you can't push your belief on everybody, but you can still put it out there.
Yeah.
So instead of me sending my podcasts of what I'm listening to everybody I know, I decided to take whatever I'm listening to and interpret it into my own message. So I'll always, if you listen to my podcast, my Focus Fridays, I would always say, hey, I was listening to this person, or I overheard this, or I read this, and this is what it means to me. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to you? So I'll always just give out advice to people.
Okay. And that's what really caught my attention. I watched 2 of them.
Okay.
The one I liked out of the 2, because I had to really do the outline, and I'm at work, so I do insurance. I sell insurance for a living, so I'm always on the phone. So I'm like, if the calls go out, I'm like, all right, let me watch it real quick. Thank you for calling. So I had to hurry up and squeeze it in. Yeah. But the one I really like is the sin of your parents.
Okay,
I like that one. Reason why I like that one is because it's hard to point the finger at your parents. You're not supposed to. You're taught not to.
Okay.
But honestly, like you said in the video, you get a lot. I inherited a lot of my parents' ways.
Mm-hmm.
You probably inherited a lot of your parents' ways and other people. And you got to realize that and like deprogram that and have a different mindset. Because if not,
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. I don't want to be like my dad when I grow up, and then you just like your dad when you grow up, and it's like
you can say it, but if you don't mean it,
yeah, So I actually like that, and I had to do a lot of deprogramming from the things that I was told from my parents growing up that actually did me harm growing up.
And I think like I'm a 93 baby, 90 babies. My parents' generation, I feel like they didn't believe that, it was just like, you become who you are. It's like, no, I've been around you my whole life. So I pick up whatever you taught me how to say no, I'm going to say no. Yeah. You taught me how to walk this way, I'm going to walk that way. So anything that you did, even, subconsciously doing it and you don't know you're doing it, as a kid, you're going to pick it up. Exactly. As you get older, you're going to start doing it yourself. Exactly.
I told my colleague today, I was like, we was talking about some type of subject, and I told him, I'm like, hey, man, a racist isn't born a racist. That is taught. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of transitions to what we're saying. Like, I only could do what I saw, what I'm saying, growing up. So if you, as a parent, you're out and about and you say no, like every time, like, no, I'm going to say it just like that.
Exactly.
It's literally, it's going to be just like that. Instead of toning it down and saying no, respectfully. No,
if you're aggressive, I'm going to be aggressive.
Exactly. So I actually like that. I'm like, I like that. Let me holler at this man real quick. As soon as I get on break, let me message him and for sure.
The Focus Fridays, I would do them every Friday. I'll always leave a message. This is what I used to say at the end of Focus Friday, every day is game day.
Okay.
Just to, that every day is a day. Like when you're playing basketball, football, any sport, you're going hard that day because you're trying to win. Mm-hmm. So treat every day like it was a game day. You're trying to win every day. So that was my Focus Friday mottos.
For sure. And you're still doing it every Friday?
I haven't done Focus Friday.
You got to get back on it, man.
I haven't done Focus Friday in, probably almost a year now.
Almost a year?
Yeah. I started losing myself again. So I stepped back. I was like, I couldn't put out content if I'm not myself. So I stepped back. I did drop one last Focus Friday, and then I left it as that. But every time people see me, yo, Chemo, when Focus Friday coming back, I said, it is in the works. So, but I've been thinking about bringing them back now that I'm learning as a videographer. So I can probably give I can tell different stories with them now. So we'll see.
I'll tell you a story. So when I started doing this podcast, I was probably on my third or fourth episode. And I'm like, nobody ain't really looking at these podcasts, man. I'm probably gonna do one more. And that's it, man. Yeah. I done spent money on all this stuff. Whatever. I get a phone call from somebody I know. And we don't really talk like that. Yeah. But he hit me up and he was like, oh, man, I like what you're doing with the podcast, man. It's positive work, man. I really like that. I showed all my family. I showed friends. They like it. They like the quality. They like the message behind it. And right then I was like, dang, I was finna give that up. You never know who's watching, who you're helping, or none of that. So I'm like, I guess I'm gonna keep going.
I mean, don't get me wrong. All my friends, they supported me. They will always share it. Everybody will ask me, yo, you dropping it this Friday? What you got for Focus Friday? I would ask people for topics if I run out of ideas, and people would throw me topics, and I always came through. It's just after a while, it's just like I'm not myself. I'm not putting out horrible content, and it's like it's not fair to the people. So it's gonna be my last one for now. Okay. But like I said, it's a possibility that it might come back.
Yeah, so everybody's watching that's waiting for the Focus Fridays. I got it out of him. He's finna bring some more out. So
we will see. We will
see. It's conjuring.
Yeah. I'm plotting. Master plan.
Okay. So we finna get into some real deal Holyfield topics right here.
Okay.
All right, man. So you're a parent yourself.
I am.
I'm 36. I'm not a parent yet. It'll happen soon. I don't know. I don't have no control over that, but we'll see what happens. But how important is the parent's role in their child's or children's life?
Very important.
And how is it very important?
You're raising another human. So, like I was saying about the sins of your parents, When I realized about mental health, trauma, anxiety, depression, it was not talked about in my family. It was just like, oh, you're just tripping. You know, everything's always getting covered up by something. So when I realized that I was actually going through things as a person, grew up as a kid, watching my mom and dad fight and all this other stuff, it was like, I don't want my kids to see that. I want my kids to see their father as somebody who's amazing, you know? Like, I want my kids to be open enough to come to me. I feel like a lot of parents say, hey, if you need anything, you can come to me, but it doesn't really mean that unless your children know. Kids 1 to 12 can read off a room, energy-wise. If a child doesn't like you, they're going to start crying when you pick them up. They like you, they'll sit in your arm and just be quiet.
Yeah.
But as a parent, you should be able to work on yourself so as your kids get older, you can not teach them the anger issues that you have, the aggression that you have, lying, stealing, that, you know, teach them to be them. They don't have to be me, but be them.
Okay. All right. And so do you think lack of parenting affects children when they are adults?
Yes. Lack of parenting, that's your caregiver. If nobody shows you love when you get to an adulthood, then you won't know how to show somebody else love. And that's how it leads into relationship problems, issues, people who seek that love. And if you can't give that person that love, why can't you give that love? You find out, well, I never got love when I was growing up. So how can I give you love if I never got it?
Wow. Hey, I 100% agree. And what are some of the characteristics of parentless children that's now adults? What are the characteristics that you can kind of see, like parentless, like no mom, no dad, just
lost, alone, aggressive, because you see somebody else, they have what they have something that you didn't get. You know what I mean? Jealousy, envy. So that all turns into hate, anger, and it makes you want to go do things in life that's, you know, that makes you feel good, which could be wrong. But I'm not going to say it's their fault, but it's just, if you abandon somebody and they have nobody, how do you expect them to turn out?
Yeah.
They're not going to turn out, well, I became great. Unless that person has the willpower of a phoenix and just, you know, hey, my parents left me, but I still have the willpower to do great, be better, then, hey, that's an amazing person. But it's not fair. You know what I mean? It's not fair if you abandon somebody and goes from there.
Okay. But I definitely, when I see that, I do see a lot of adults, I can say all of them, but a lot of them, they battle suicidal thoughts, depression, depending on the wrong people to fill the void in their life, you know, street gangs and, you know, man, you know, I'm looking for a father figure. I see that in you and I follow you, and peer pressure, lack of loving others, including self, attention seeking, you know, the whole thing.
It's you're trying to find what you're missing in other people, and sometimes it could be that person where, like, joining a gang, that's a family.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a family.
Okay. And what advice would you give someone if they're dealing with this type of issue?
It's okay to get help. I was big on, I can do it by myself. But if you can do it by yourself, but it's also better to have help, because especially if somebody who's certified in it and they know how to talk to you, how to treat you, how to, you know, respond when you act a certain way. It's okay to get help, because you can do it by yourself. You can probably get the 1, 2, and 3, but you still got to go all the way to 100.
You can't do it all on your own, man. Go seek help.
It is okay to get help.
I promise you. Trust me. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. And
nobody's perfect, man.
Nobody's perfect. And, you know, bro, go speak to somebody. You know, hey, you know, thank God I have a wife. I could. Yeah,
I mean, see, like, yeah, you have a significant other. If you do have that family where you can go to them and talk to them, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
If you know you can't, you feel like they'll judge you, then don't go to them.
Yeah. I remember I was going through some issues, and I remember meeting my wife.
Yeah.
I went to go see her the first day. So I battled with alcohol. Like, I was a young alkie. Like, I've lost countless jobs because of alcohol.
Okay.
I've got locked up because of alcohol. You name it. It was because of alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, I had a deep rooted like anger issue, you know, because I felt when I was growing up, I wasn't loved the way I was supposed to. And it's deeper than that. But that came out as an adult as far as anger or whatever.
Aggression.
And all of that. So I remember meeting my girlfriend, now wife. Well, the first time I met her, I pulled up to her crib with a beer in my hand. And I was already kind of twisted. Pulled up. I could have had a DUI and all that. Pull up. She comes out. What's up? You know, hugged her, whatever, drinking the beer, whatever. And we're sitting in the car, and I just pretty much told her everything about me.
Yeah.
Right? So normally a girl would like,
this
dude is crazy. I'm out, you know. So the next day, I called her. I'm like, oh, my bad for talking your ear off yesterday. And she was like, no, it's okay. I kind of figured you was going through things. And right there, I'm like, wow, like, pretty good, you know, and we just kept kicking it from there. And every time I speak, she'll listen. And, you know, I'm saying something here now, fellas. If you talk to a girl and she ain't trying to hear you, she might not be the one. You know, I ain't trying to break up no happy homes, but I'm just saying.
Listen, communication is part of the foundation. If you are with somebody, male or female or whatever, communication. If your significant other cannot listen to you, stop telling them things.
Yeah.
Stop telling them things.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up finding somebody who will listen.
Yeah.
Maybe a therapist or it might be somebody else, but just work on that communication.
For sure, man. For sure. Now to emotions, right? Okay. So, and it's a big thing. I even hear people say, oh, men could have emotions. Men could, you know, it could. But just like everything in life, there's a balance. You know, there's a balance to it. You know, it's like, because I've seen some emotional men. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I bet you in your household, boy, it's probably 2 females. You know, it's like you use my shampoo. Like, let me stop. But I've seen some emotional dudes. What do you feel about emotions and men?
So when it comes to men and emotions, I'll talk from experience. Growing up, I've always told myself, and I used to tell women I would talk to, I'm cold-hearted. I'm cold-hearted. I don't show feelings. I don't show emotions. And I guess I spoke so much of that it became a reality. Mm-hmm. That if I am dating somebody or with somebody, I wouldn't cry if they broke up with me. It's just, it didn't like it would bother me, but you would never know. Like I would look like a mannequin, just still like just there. So with men and emotions, I think it's just also a comfort zone. If a man does not feel safe or comfortable, I don't think they would speak about how they feel. Yeah. And then if they were taught growing up that like the whole saying, oh, boys don't cry or don't act like that, boys don't do that, that's something they're gonna carry until they're a man. Yeah. So that's at least back to letting your child be them. Mm-hmm. So when they get to an adulthood, it's not restrictions on everything. A man can be emotional, especially if you're married or you got a girlfriend or whatever. You want to be that vulnerable with that person. You chose that person for a reason. So you want to be able to, like, if I come home from work, I want to be able to open up to the person I'm with. Yeah. Not just like, how was work? It was all right. Yeah. And then that all right turns to, it was a bad day. I got into a fight with this person, the manager threatened to fire me. So it's just like you got something built up. And if it goes on like that for a couple of days, it stacks and then ticking bomb and then boom. Yeah. And it's like, why are you yelling at me or why are we fighting? It all started that day at work that Monday and I look at Friday, we're fighting.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree on the most part for that. I definitely, like I said before, I think emotions, there's a balance. Yes, you should be able to open up to your spouse or to your girl or whatever. By me being married, I've been married for 6 years now, be 7 years next year. What I've learned, like, we all have roles in life. And this is not, oh, the man is better than the girl and vice versa. It's just, we have roles in life. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be too emotional. I have to still be the authoritative figure of the household because I can't be, oh, I'm this and this and hard times coming. I can't do it. You know, it's like, nah, it's like, especially like if you have kids and all that, like you got to set the example, right? So it's all right to open up and all of that, but just remember your roles. Remember your roles is remember the balance because
I think I get what you're saying on the balance. I also think that it's be with who you can handle, because there's also women out there who are authority figures and not alphas. So if two alphas meet, it could be clashing. It could be good. It could be bad. It could be good. It could be bad. You know what I mean? So it's some women want a man that's hey, I want a big dog. And some women are like, no, I just want somebody that's sweet and, I can take care of him. It all depends on the person.
For sure.
But balance, you can have an emotional woman and an emotional man. It might work just because they're able to talk about what's going on, versus if you got the person I used to be, cold-hearted and an emotional woman, she tells me how she feels, I wouldn't know how to respond to that.
For sure.
I can be like, oh, okay.
I'm going to speak from my experience. And this was my second arrest, is domestic violence. But I ain't touch it, though.
Hey,
I didn't touch her.
Been there.
I didn't touch her.
Been there.
Even the judge. Nah, you good. It was dismissed but she touched me. But of course, you know how it is when the police is called. The man is going to jail. Like, yeah, you're going to jail. So, this particular girl I was dealing with, she was alpha. She wanted control. And I ain't speaking bad on her. I'm just, from my perspective, She was an alpha. Why aren't you home? You say you was going to be home at this time. Why aren't you here? Why are you doing this? It was like, and I'm like, and I'm a alpha dog myself. So I'm like, you don't tell me what to do. Like, I come on when I'm ready. Like, it's like, you're not finna do that. It's just not finna happen, And that situation, that lasted for about 2 years, but it ended on a very bad note because it was two people just clashing because it was just two I ain't gonna say stubborn, but two alpha people, and
two big dogs fighting for
two
the title.
Big dogs for the title. And I'm sorry, I ain't laying my title down. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
straight.
If you are two alphas, you should be able to let those two alphas still be free. But when you are with each other, it's not like, hey, I'm in charge. It's us. When you're by yourself, do your alpha thing. You do your alpha thing. But when we're together, it's the alpha thing. You hang it up on the door when you come in the house. It's family time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But from that point on, I never ever looked for an alpha woman again. If I seen any slight alphaness, you might as well go that way. I'm good. This is just not gonna work in my case. It's just not gonna work because I just had bad experience with that. Like, to the point I lost my armed security license, went to jail. I had to explain this to the chief, and he's like, well, you can't be armed if you got a domestic violence charge. I'm just like, and still after all, I'm not gonna get into that, but if in my case, and guys, fellas, if you're dealing with a woman like that, and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do and walk, man. Because
listen, if you know that it's not going anywhere and this is something y'all do on a regular basis, it's toxic, make the hard decision to leave. Yeah. It's gonna hurt, but somebody has to make the hard decision, because if you're too comfortable in that situation to where you guys are fighting, it gets to the point to where it's domestic violence or something happens to us, like it can ruin your life. Yeah. Stop now.
For sure. I still remember looking my chief in the eyes, and he was just like, "There's nothing I could do for you." I'm like,
you live and you learn.
Man.
You live and you learn.
And of course, I had to go home, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, all right. We got one more month here. We figure out how we're going to pay this, and
that's
it. So I told you I was staying in North Miami. Miami Gardens. All right, man, I'm out of here, man. So success. Do you believe there is a risk tolerance to be successful?
Yes.
So in other words, the more risk you take, the more successful you become?
Smart risk. Don't do blind risk. Don't think, oh, there's water over there, so I'm going to go, jump in that water because I want to be a great swimmer. The smart risk is, how deep is the water? The water hot? Is the water cold? What's in the water? If you're going to take that risk, take the risk, but be smart about it. Don't just, I'm going to just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 1 in 1 million times that I'm going to just do it, and it's like, okay, it popped, and then it's like, I'm going to just do it, and then, you're drowning.
Yeah, for sure.
A shark.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I would only take a risk, not too crazy risk, but risk if it's in my field. If it's something I could do, something I know I'm good at, I'll take a risk. So for an example, I knew it came to a point where when I was doing photography, people was noticing, oh, can you do my picture? Can you do my wedding? Can you do this? Can you do that? When people is offering that, it's usually you're all right. It's like, I don't want my wedding pictures messed up, because if they looking at my picture and they're like, they're not going to be like, oh, can you do my wedding? They're going to find another photographer, because it's like the biggest day of their life. So when I started getting that, I'm like, I must be good at it. And I wasn't even judging myself. I was letting the people judge. I'm like, I must be all right with this. So I took the risk of, like I say, selling my PlayStation 4. I sold all the games. And I had all type of stuff on my PS4. I sold it all for like a measly, I think it was like $300, and got the camera, and just I was on it, and took another risk and bought another camera and dropped hundreds and hundreds on lenses and
spend money to make money.
Flashes. But I knew this was a risk I knew I'm going to get rewarded for.
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, don't take blind risks. Don't just be like, somebody say, oh, you should do this, and you be like, oh, okay. You take your life savings and and then it just
it blows up, and it's just
blows
like
up. Yeah.
You're left broke, and the person you trusted is like, oh, I can't help you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I definitely believe in that. So, so if you know you're good at something and it's looking successful, are you willing to take more risks in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either I'll take more risks, but with the risk, I'll be taking more risks of what else can I do to make it better? Like my started off with photography. What else can I do to make it better? Videography. Everybody wants a video.
Yeah.
Especially weddings. I've never done a wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do a wedding, but I'm not going to say I'm not going to do it. It's a learning experience. I can do it. It won't be what you see on TV. I mean, mine might be something different, but if you like it, I like it. You love it, I love it. Then we can go from there.
And not to jump off topic, but I remember my very first wedding. My very first wedding was with my cousin. Shout out, Jasmine. I see if you're watching this. Shout out to you, girl. I appreciate that. You know, I never forget that. And I remember I showed my dad a picture of my mother-in-law. Yeah. I shot her photos for Mother's Day. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And he was like, oh, boy, I didn't know you was a photography boy. And this old boy back in the 60s. Oh, boy, that look good. Boy, I didn't know you was a photographer. Boy, he was like, you know your cousin getting married. I'm like, which one? Jasmine. I'm like, okay. He was like, hey, call her right now. Call her. She looking for a photographer. I'm like, okay.
Hey.
So I gave her a call. What's up, cuz? Missing years, yo. Oh, yeah, Unc Ted that you was a photographer. He beat me to the punch. So I'm like, okay. I was like, well, you know, I would love to do your wedding. If you want to take a look at my work. She was like, nah, I trust you. How much you charge? I charge this, whatever. So I did her engagements first, and then like 3 months later, I did her wedding.
Nice.
Everything came out good. And I was so nervous because that was my very first wedding. It was like so many people, some familiar faces, some I've never seen before. They're asking me, oh, what about the green screen? Do you do the green screen? You should do all these suggestions from these so-called photographers. And I'm just like, I'm trying to.
See, now that I think about it, shout out to my boy Chris. I actually did it was a wedding, but it wasn't a wedding. I guess he eloped it on the beach or something like that. Mm-hmm. And my boy Chris, who's also a photographer, videographer, I was his videographer. He was a photographer. So okay. I was my first time shooting something. It came out great. They loved it. They asked us for the special song they asked at request. Okay. The song that was singing at their wedding. They wanted the background of the video. So that was my first time doing something close to like a wedding. And
But your boy was like,
he was a photographer.
He was a photographer.
And I was a videographer. But okay. I had the 6400 battery. Was dying quick while recording. Couldn't shoot in the dark as much because they wanted to catch all the sunset and everything. And it's just like, I didn't have my gimbal. So I'm on the beach. I'm on sand. Wobbly. And I'm just like, bro, this is got to come out bad. But I'm putting my military tactics in my head. I'm like sturdy, just slow and steady, slow as fast as smooth. So I'm just taking my time walking in the sand, watch he's walking, getting different. I didn't know nothing about angles or anything. I was just like, I'm just going to record them.
Yeah.
Go to school. I'm just like, if I redo this video now, it's going to be magnificent. It's going different lenses, different angles, different positions. I'll have my stabilizer this time,
Yeah.
and I can shoot something now.
Man. And man, I remember everybody walking down the aisles, and I'm like, oh man, whatever. I just started shooting, bro. Started shooting, and it was so dark. I had to use the manual focus, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like manually focusing so it could snap, but it came out good. And I just learned from the next wedding. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what a wedding is. I know who's coming out first. I know it like the back of my hand, so I'll be prepared. Then the second one, of course, it was a success, but it just
you live and you learn.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I gotta get another camera, I gotta get another lens, I gotta get this. And by the third wedding, I was set. I was good.
Yeah, no,
but yeah, for sure.
I didn't get a wedding. I didn't get a big wedding yet. Not yet. I'm waiting for that.
That's gonna be fire. It's gonna be so fun. It's that first wedding. It was 15 hours. 15 hours because I did the whole before the wedding and the wedding and then the reception. So I was there for like 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. They were at the Epic Hotel down in Brickell. It was a very expensive hotel. 7 a.m. there shooting all day. And then we had to take everything downstairs, drive over because the wedding was in another area. It was like 10 miles away. Drive there, had to hurry up and set up. Snapping there, we was there for like another hour or two. Then we had the receptions in a whole nother area, 10 miles away. Go to the reception, and we were there for like 3 hours. And there I set up my whole photo booth, and from 7 to like almost 1 in the morning. It was bad. It was good, but it was bad.
I can only imagine the editing session.
Actually, the editing was good. I think just being there for like 15, 16 hours was just, that was a hard part. My feet was hurting, and I was the only photographer. I didn't have like a second hand, and I was just doing everything. So it was worth it. I seen
bring a second photographer, maybe a third photographer.
For real. But the money was like, I was like, yo, I could do this, boy. But the money was right.
Nice,
the money was right. So that was good. Okay, all right, my bad. So back to the success. I'm sorry, we got so much in common with the photography, videography. I'm sorry, guys. You might as well call this a photo session, man. Like a photo podcast. It's all good. Like that So more risks, but smart risks. And we ain't talking about illegal risks like gambling. Like, I don't even understand. And it ain't nothing towards the gamblers. I don't understand how people gamble like that. Well, you just be losing your money, man. You just gamble is set up for you to fail. Some people got the
lucky rabbit foot.
Sometimes.
One thing I've learned is you got to know when to pull.
Yeah.
If you see you made 1,000 tonight, stop.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it, because you're going to get that 1,000 and then switch. Faith is like, I'm going to start taking the money back.
But the heart's so greedy is like, you can even start off losing. Because if you into it like that, I've seen people, they start off losing. They lose 100. But like, oh, no, I'm going to get that 100 back. And then it's 300 down. And then it's 400 down. It's like, it's going to change. It's going to change. Bro, no, it's not. You better stop.
See me, if I would have lost 100, all right, yeah, boys. I'm going to call it a night, man. I got a headache,
For real, man. I remember going to the Miccosukee back there. Like my very first time. This was like maybe 12 years ago. I went and lost. I lost like $3, honestly, dog. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just giving money away. Nah, I'm straight.
Not $3.
$3, dog. And I was on unemployment. And bro, matter of fact, this was when I got arrested for the domestic violence. Man, I was on unemployment, and man, I wasn't getting no money till like a week and a half, and I was already like, I probably had like $300. I lost $3. I'm like,
the most I've ever lost was 100. I'm just like, all right, boys. That's my limit.
Yeah, for real, man. But yeah, man, take good risks, man. If you know you're good at it and you know you can capitalize off the money, man, take more risks, because you know the reward will be bigger. But if you're taking risks and you don't really see nothing in return, you might want to step back and reevaluate. You might want to get you a manager. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just saying, I wish I would have got me a manager, because, dog, a manager is super important, honestly, dog, because I remember trying to do it on my own. I'm getting flyers printed out. I'm getting all the stuff printed out.
Yeah.
And I remember my very first time, and I learned some things, something that college won't teach you, at least in the photography world. I went out. I got a gold chain. It's very small. It's nothing flashy, but it's gold, so you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out to one of the little Virginia Key beaches by Key Biscayne.
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
I went out. Key.
Yeah, I went out there. I had my little pool bag. I had my photography gear. So my angle was, I'm finna get some new clients.
Yeah.
I need some clients. I'm out there with flyers and my camera. And I'm like, hey, I see a couple. Hey, can I take a picture of you? They're like, no, we're good. Oh, well, here's a flyer. No, we don't want it. Here's a business card. No, we don't want it. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. So that whole day, I'm just getting rejected. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, nobody, not one picture. And I'm like, maybe it's my image. Maybe I got this gold chain on. Mind you, it's not a big gold chain. It's a regular size gold chain. I'm like, maybe I need to Oreo this thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to come in another scent,
Customer service voice.
Yeah, So I want to say that next weekend, I went to the same beach. No chain. I had like a wife beater on, some Beach Boy, like the most sophisticated beach shorts you could find with the sandals. I had a fresh cut, fresh lineup. In my customer service voice, oh, hello, I noticed you out here. You guys look beautiful, by the way. And blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to take a picture of you. I'll edit it for free. I'm a professional photographer, but you guys are awesome. I usually don't do this, but I just had to sell it. And it was like, sure. And I was like, got it.
Yeah, I've actually recently started doing that. There's a photographer I follow. His name is Alexander the Great. He lives out in California. And that's literally what he do all day. He goes out from like 9 to 5 and he walks up to people. Granted, he's in California, so you got diversity everywhere. He just walks up to people. Hey, this is some of my work. Mind if I take a photo shoot with you for free? He does it. He posts it on TikTok, Instagram. He does he's getting content, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So imagine if you're out from 9 to 5 and you meet 9 people.
Exactly.
You have content for like 2 weeks.
Exactly.
But he does it every day.
And not only that, see, I wasn't even into the Instagram thing like I am now. I only do Instagram for businesses, photography, podcasts, whatever. Like then I wasn't on that. And I would just take the picture, I'll email it to you. I should have just got my IG and be like, oh man, follow me on IG.
And that's what he does.
Exactly.
He tag you, write down your content. Here's the contract for the photo release. Give me your IG. I'll edit it. Bam, boom, pop. And his work is amazing. And then it's like, oh man, his work is amazing. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna follow him. He's a great photographer.
Yeah, and you can get slick with the words on IG. Like for an example, you take a picture of Vanessa and you edit it and you put it on your page and you tag Vanessa once she adds you back as a friend. But like, doesn't Vanessa look nice? Like,
and it's just Vanessa shows up, she shares it. And Vanessa might have a big following.
Boom, and it's just all of that stuff. So man, yeah, I mean, we keep jumping right off to photography. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, hey, man.
Photography is
I'm about
life.
to just say, talk with someone.
Photography is life.
It's life, man. It is life. All right, man. So back to success. All right, we're gonna try to stay on time. I'm sorry, guys. So, is budgeting important for success?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You have to budget yourself. You do not want to spend all your money on bunch of stuff. What I've learned so far is work with what you got. Get your gigs. Like if you feel like you're not as good, don't let the clients know. Let your work speak for itself. Exactly. Me, I'm the biggest person. I'm the worst critic. I look at my photos. I'm like, these pictures is trash. Send them to him. Send them to my manager. Send them to anybody. I got another opinion. These photos are amazing. I'm like, I don't see what you see, but whatever. Yeah. But buy what you can. Get as many clientele as you can. Push yourself out. If you don't like your work, still even put it out because somebody's going to like it. And then learn, save from there so you can buy your next lens. That's what I did when I got my lenses. I would work for like a good 6 months, make some money, brought another lens. Now I have a lens that does everything. So now I'm just going to do everything I can with this lens, my backup lens, until I get to the point where I can buy another camera or maybe more lights, even buy a building for a studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. I agree. Definitely budgeting, man. Yeah, it's very, very important. Piggyback off what you were saying. Matter of fact, real life story. So I was working at Macy's, bought my first cam, knew that I needed flashes and soft boxes and all of that. So I had like this little paper that I would create. It'll be like bills. It'll be like rent, phone bill, car insurance. I'll like write it all down and be like, okay, how much money I got left? All right, man, all right, so I need some pocket money. So I'm gonna give myself $100. I got paid every week. I'm gonna give myself $100 because I really want.
That's your allowance.
That's my allowance, and I'm like, okay, this flash costs $180, but this flash is good, man. Like, I'm gonna get it. So I would save up for like 3 weeks and get the flash, and oh man, and it's like it became an addiction. It was like, oh man, I need another flash because if I have 5 people I'm taking pictures of, this one flash is only gonna light up 3 people. What about the other 2? So I need to save again. And my wife was like, "Oh my God, you just spending all your money," and and I'm like, "I know, but trust me, it's gonna work.
Spend money to make money.
It's gonna work out." And trust me, gigs was back to back to back to back, and then it was great. So yeah, budget yourself. If you're a good cook or something, if you need some new utensils or ingredients or a pot set, put yourself on an allowance and save up for it because that's going to make you money in the long run.
It will.
Especially like if you get a full-fledged business, you're definitely going to learn how to budget because it's a business now. It's an LLC. It's like, okay, this is my business account. I need this and taxes.
Yeah, you got to keep your business and personal money separate.
And that's a whole nother topic, but it still requires budgeting.
It does.
For sure. And what habits should be dropped to budget better? Wow, how did I word this question? What was I know I did. It's fast.
What habits should you take to help budget better?
Yeah.
I mean, habits of no impulse spending. My manager, she's always on top of me because I'm very impulsive when it comes. I see something I like, I want it, I gotta get it. But you can't be like that especially when running a business and trying to start it off. Control your spending habits. Do what you did. Write down everything from your personal bills to your business bills, and then see how much you got left. But still, even then, if you got a lot left, everybody has that saying. Everybody knows that saying where it says, act broke, be broke, and then, bam, you got money. So if you broke, when you get $100, be broke again. Yeah. So that $100 can turn to $300. Be broke again, so it can go up from there.
That's crazy because I did like maybe 4 or 5 videos of just like about budgeting, buying your first car in cash, skipping the finance part and just saving to get your little hoopty 2,500.
Yeah. Use
that to get a better car or whatever. And to be honest with you, doing photography actually taught me how to budget better.
Okay.
Putting myself on an allowance or giving myself only a certain amount and letting it be consistent. So if it was $100, I'm only paying myself $100. I'm not going under that. I'm not going over that. If I get broke on a Wednesday and I know I get paid Saturday or Sunday or whatever, I guess I'm broke until Saturday and Sunday.
Facts.
I live like that as of today. So I made way more money than what I made at Macy's. I'm on a $300 every 2 week allowance. That's what I put myself on. I've gotten raises. I've gotten bonuses.
Yeah.
I've gotten all of that. I'm still living off $300 every 2 weeks.
See, I need to put myself on a budget like that.
Because what that does, honestly, is people are like, I need to save. I'm already saving. And then now it's a lifestyle. It's like, so if I get a $2 raise, it's like, that's like $2 raise. That's like equivalent to like $80 extra, $90 extra after taxes. I mean, it's going to go straight there. I don't need it because I'm living off $300. Here's your $2,000 bonus. That's going up because I'm living off $300. That's literally how I do it. And I got that from budgeting from photography, doing buying my equipment.
Nice.
So that's dope. Do you think success plays a factor in the way you grew up? And when I mean success, I'm talking like own your own business type of success. I'm not talking success as far as, I make $70,000 a year, I'm successful. No, I'm talking like you own a business and it's a successful business and you got multiple assets. So in that sense of success, do you think success plays a factor in the way you grew up?
No. I think everybody can change. You might grew up a very hard life, but a lot of people who've lived the hard life are mostly the ones that become successful. Not to say people who as people would say, had a silver spoon, they won't be successful, because some people were born with silver spoons and they end up in bad places. But I tend to see
Olsen twins. Not.
I tend to see a lot of people who've been through the trenches, the diamond in the rough, come up and then they become successful.
And believe it or not, that's most wealthy people.
Yes.
That's most rich people. They came from nothing. Look at
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Look at the guy from Amazon. What's his name? I
forget
his name. I forget his name.
I don't. Jeff Bezos?
Was it Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
I be getting him. I get him, the Amazon dude, confused with the Mark Zuckerberg dude from Facebook. All of them look the same. They just, I don't know. So I get them confused. But
yeah, it's. I think once you start something, see it through the end, because you may never know where it takes you.
I remember seeing this guy that owns Amazon. What was his name again?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Right. This was a 1999 interview, and I was watching this in like 2013. This dude had a small office somewhere. It was a super small office, and he had a bunch of books, because Amazon started off by books. He was selling a bunch of books.
Yeah.
He was like, I sell books, and this is my little workshop, and it was just him, and it was just this little bitty office. And who would have known that little bitty office, him just selling books, turns into Amazon
warehouses,
multi-billion-dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and that just blew my mind. I'm like, wow. Like you say, anybody could do it.
You just gotta be patient.
Be patient.
Be very patient.
And honestly, be patient. Work hard. Smart hard.
Mm-hmm.
Work smart hard. Keep it consistent. And I think one of the most important things is cut out the bull crap in your life. If you got some bull crap people around you, bro, cut them out. Cut them out.
If they're not helping you succeed or grow, it's time to release them.
Yeah. And I understand everybody's not going to be successful to that level. Everybody's not going to make it to that level. But bad apples when you see it. Mm-hmm. If you got some negative, just, oh man, man, it's them, it's the man, it's the, and it's like, bro.
Yeah, it's
cut them. I'm telling you, that's my homie from high school, middle school. Cut your homie from middle school, high school, college, whatever, because that's going to be kind of your downfall if they around you.
Yeah, if you don't see them trying to grow and you trying to grow, it's unfortunately that 10 years, that 20-year friendship just went south.
Just like that. Because I can guarantee you, once you start getting something, you start getting that leverage, you start getting that, man, there's the jealousy, the hate gonna come, and oh man.
That, and then you start meeting people new, better for you. So it's just like, how you gonna give up our friendship for this? Like, bro, you still doing the same thing.
Still doing the same thing, dog. Like,
we're not 16 anymore.
For real, dog. I got an apartment, you still staying at home with mom. And no offense to people that stay at home with mom or whatever, but I'm just saying, when you on that rise, and it's like, bro, I got an apartment. Yeah. All right, well, I got a house. Okay, all right.
I got property.
I got properties now, but I got 2 units and I got a business. Okay, you still standing. It's like, bro, come on. Even if I see you want to do better, I can hire you. I can help you, but you got to help yourself first. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Like,
you got to help yourself first.
Come on, man. You got tissue right there. Wipe your own butt. I can't wipe your butt for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Please, Cool. But for real though. So with another thing with success, and with those people, you cut them out because, and this goes back to the story I told you earlier at the beginning of the podcast of with this the girl with the iPhone. She competing. People will compete against you because they're jealous. People will compete against you for no reason. It's because they feel like, oh no, who are you? Like, I've had that so many times as a photographer, and I ain't even have an LLC. Yeah. I was just under my name, just doing it, like a sole proprietorship. I was just doing it. If anything happened, that will fall on my name, which is bad.
I can say this: if you're gonna compete with people, make it be fun. So my boy Jonathan, he makes music. We've been making music since high school. The way we would, if we were like in a studio and then we didn't have nothing to like rap about, what we would do is like, let's have a rap battle. Let's see who drops the best first.
Okay.
And then we would go from there, and then we go from just having that little battle to like, hey bro, I got another track in mind. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Like, if you're gonna compete, inspire the people around you. Don't compete because it's like, oh, well, whatever, bro, you're trash, I'm better than you, blah, 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 whatever. No, if you're going to compete with your friends, compete to the point where you're inspiring each other. Because his verse may have said something that I like, and it's like, okay, I can use that in a song, or we can turn his verse into a song, or my verse into a song, and then look at that, we got 3, 4, 5 songs done, and within the last 3 hour span versus just, yeah, bro, I don't, your verse is better than mine, so I'm not going to make music anymore.
See, that's a good competing. I'm talking about that.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, who are you? Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. But if you are going to compete, that's my advice to you. If you want to compete with somebody, make it friendly.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of competing, so I never told nobody this. So shout out to the dudes I used to rap with in the groups or whatever. Man, listen, I had a very competitive spirit. It was to the point I wasn't even competing with them. I was competing with artists that already made it, and they don't even know it. I'm like, I'm finna spit bars, but I'm trying to get on that level, so I'm gonna rip you on your own track, Even though it's in my mind, it's like they'll never hear it, but bro, that made me so much better to the point when I did go spit, with my guys or whatever, I was on a whole nother level, and they're like, and so they trying to compete with me now, and it's like, well, I feel you on that, but
you learning. You learn from the greats. Like to this day, I still think he's a better rapper than me. He won't admit it, but I still think his wordplay is very disgusting. Mm-hmm. But he got there because he don't care who you are. It doesn't. You're another human just like me. Yeah, you made it, but I'm pretty sure if I made it or when I make it and we went toe to toe, I'll beat you.
Yeah,
I'll beat you
for sure. So I'm assuming like you like a bars, huh? So you like a syllable rapper, or
I think he got a little bit of metaphor.
Metaphor. Okay.
All of it.
Because I was always, and I'm outdated. I haven't did it in a minute. I mean, I'll do it, but it's just for me. I don't take it serious like that no more.
He wants to throw me on the track. I told him, bro, just give me like a month to warm up the vocals. You feel me? I got to get my writing back down. Yeah. But yeah, if you've been done it in a long time, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
For sure. But I know I always focused on like syllables. Like I focus on metaphors. But syllables gotta be there. If you ain't got syllables,
I was more of a storyteller and like punchlines.
Punchline, okay.
Like Lil Wayne's punchlines will forever be the greatest punchlines ever. Like, especially his freestyles.
Oh yeah, the mixtapes.
Yeah, man. But punchlines and telling a story.
Yeah. Wayne was definitely with the punchlines. Yeah, telling a story. Not much. Because
my storytelling probably comes from Drake. Drake always tells stories.
I always view Wayne as like, because he don't really write. He'll like formulate like 3, 4, 5 bars, and then he'll go in and spit it. All right, cut it. Let me think of like 4 more bars, and then we go in. So I don't give it enough time to even storytell. It's like, okay, let me hit this punchline real quick. But out of these 4 bars, I'm finna hit you with 2, 3 punchlines, and I know his focus more on punchlines, but storytelling.
And them things were hard.
Yeah, they would. I used to love Wayne. Wayne. Shout out to Wayne. Tunchi. For sure. But yeah, man. So so I mean, you beat me to the punch with saying everything else. So yeah, bro, that's it. So I didn't really need that really, because we talked so much about photography, man, and and we got about an hour. What is it?
Hour 16.
Hour and 16, man. So let's make it fun, and then let's go out with a bang. So I read on your IG you wanted to become like an actor as well. Like,
yes.
Have you ever acted before?
I'm getting into it now. I got a group of friends I met. I met this dude named Amari at a photography event. He's a young filmmaker. He has been doing YouTube since high school. So he was doing photography. That's how I met him. But he's a great director. So I've been hanging around him and his friends. Mm-hmm. And they've been doing short films, skits, and stuff like that. And lately, he's been asking me. His friends have been asking me to be in, some of the films or whatever. So I'm learning how to act through them. I have to take an acting class in school, so I'm waiting for that class to see what it's going to be. But no, I've always just imagination. I've always had a wild imagination, so I'll act in my head. But I want to see if I can put it to life.
Okay. Yeah. I actually got a coworker, and that's all he do is act. He's done on stage. What you call it? What you get?
Improv.
Improv. He done a lot of improv, and he wants to wants to make it to the top, man. I'm just like, bro, keep going, man. Like keep going.
Yeah.
And I've seen his acting. He's very good, very natural. He's very good. So
yeah, that's what
that's dope. That's dope. I know I couldn't do it because I got troubles remembering lines, and I'm not even disciplined enough to sit and try to remember it and go up there. And it's like, man, I'm more about, man, if it's gonna make me some bread, I'll do it. if I'm just doing it for fun.
I mean, I also want to get into acting because my idol, everybody knows him, Will Smith.
Willard.
Yeah, Will Smith is the most inspirational actor that I know. Started off with music and got into The Fresh Prince, of course. But one thing about him, from any other actor that I've seen, he inspires everybody, no matter where he's at, what he's doing, who he's with. Everybody, he gives off that energy in the world. And so I want to be that person for somebody. Okay. I want to be a Will Smith to somebody.
You know, the intriguing thing about Will Smith that I really like, besides his acting, is why he landed the role at Fresh Prince.
He went up there and he took a risk.
Not only that, he had to take a risk.
Yeah, because his album was going down.
Exactly. I remember him saying it, I don't know what interview it was, but he was like, the most horrible feeling is being known for being broke. Mm-hmm. He said he was on a bus and people, oh, you Will Smith, and you know, da, da, da. He was like, yeah. But he didn't have $1 in his name. He was dead broke. He was like, that.
I remember that. He dropped the second album, him and Jazz. The album flopped. His girlfriend, he was at home and his girlfriend was like, bro, you know, you go out and do something. He's like, I don't know what to do. And I think there was like a movie con or something. She like go there, you know, go talk to some people. And he ran into one of the producers for the press fence, and they was like, hey, I know who you are. Come down to the set and meet, I think, Quincy Jones, or I believe that's who it was. And, you know, he never acted. That was the first time. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he learned everything on set. But he had great co-workers, Uncle Phil, Carlton, all those actors and everything that helped inspire him to get to where he's at now. But he took off, and he's one of the greatest legends.
One of the greatest.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put you, okay, so I know that shit, you know, that shit guy, Willard. I call him Willard Smith because that's his name, Willard. Will Smith. Will Smith, man, who you think is better? I know it's different generation, and this guy has been in the game way longer.
Are you gonna say Denzel?
Denzel, man, you already know, man. Denzel. I know it's probably like, oh man, here's another guy talking about Denzel.
Listen.
Typical question.
They're two different people. You cannot compare them. You can't. They're in two different fields. I'll be honest to God, I would say Denzel. Denzel is
only because he probably got
better say
Denzel.
He probably got tons of his experience, bro. He just been.
I can't say Will Smith can't play a serious role, but Denzel is like deep. Yeah, like he can. Yeah. Denzel is something. Like I can't see Denzel playing a comedy role. Like Will Smith is very versatile. But he is. Denzel, when it comes to like those dramas and those serious roles, it's like, this man don't miss.
And it could be one simple line, but the way he delivers it, it's like
yeah, man, that's Denzel.
He'd be at the gas pump making life decisions like, bro, man, that line was tough, man.
Yeah. So as much as Will Smith inspires me, I would say Denzel he's better than Will Smith. Yeah.
Out of all of the Will Smith movies, which one is your best? Which one you like the best?
Oh man. Wow. Nobody's never asked me that question. Wow. Honestly, I'll just say I Am Legend.
I Am Legend? Okay.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. That's one with the zombies, right?
Yeah,
like the
It was
I remember
a solo movie. I mean, he had a co-star, but it was just him by himself. And he did his thing. I think the movie was, what was the movie with the football? Conscious or Concussion.
Okay.
That movie, and then Collateral Beauty.
Okay.
Those are my three movies. Collateral Beauty was an amazing movie.
Okay.
I might say that was my number one.
Okay. I've seen a hand. I ain't say hand. I've seen a couple. Honestly, Enemy of the State.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
I actually liked him in that. That was more of a serious role.
Day. Yeah. That was a good one.
It was good, but and honestly, I think he did good in Hitch.
Hitch was a good movie. It was a comedy movie.
It was a comedy movie. That's what I know.
Get your manager on the phone.
Not to say it was like it was a good movie. It's not. I didn't say it was one of his best movies.
No,
but
I'm just naming out some of the movies that I like. You know, and I think that he did a good job.
Kevin James.
What? Kevin James is great, bro.
Ain't good for nothing but sitcoms.
That's what I'm saying. It was a funny movie, bro.
He did his thing. You know,
I'm surprised neither you said The Pursuit of Happiness.
That's everybody's favorite. Man.
Pursuit of
I
Happiness.
mean, that was his great. I would say that's one of his.
What made me fall in love with Jaden Smith.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this kid is a child.
Yeah. No, I think Jaden would have took off.
With his father.
Yeah, I think if Jaden would have stayed in acting, he would have took off. Like Denzel Washington's son, amazing actor.
Oh yeah,
amazing actor. So, but not. I mean, The Pursuit of Happiness is everybody's favorite, man. That was an amazing movie based off the true story of that same person he played. So.
That's one because I didn't really see it all, but he was going for the job or something. He was like kind of homeless. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah. But
7 pounds. 7 pounds.
Okay. And what about the all-time favorite everyone's sitcom, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh, I can watch it any time of the day.
How do you think he did? Even he was at the beginning of his acting career. How do you think
character
he did?
Development? Even as a person, he had character development from.
But can you actually see it on screen or?
Yeah. You can see it on screen and off screen, but that's what led to his co-stars. Those on screen, they helped him. Off screen, they helped him even more. That's why James Avery was, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. That was one of his mentors, and I think he said in an interview.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Yeah.
The scene where it's the scene of father when he met his father left, and then he's like, oh, why he don't want me anymore? And he started crying. He said that day on set, while they did that scene, when they hugged each other, James whispered in his ear, "Now that's acting."
Yeah, I remember he was speaking about that.
So I was just like, that's my dog.
Yeah, sure. I wonder if it was improv or that was a part of the set when he flicked the hat off of him when he was like, "Why you don't want me?" And he went in his arm, he was hugging and he flicked the hat off.
I don't know.
I think it was improv because I don't think.
I think that was a serious moment. I think that was like a serious moment. But
yeah. I don't know. I looked at. I laughed. I'm not supposed to. I laughed at that part because it's like a parent hugging, like a father hugging his son, and he got this hat on that's the fad and all of that, and he like, take this hat off, and it's like
we would never know.
Yeah, we would never know. Whatever. That was so funny. Though. I was like, all right, that's funny. Man, take this hat off. That's dope, man. And what about how you felt when they switched out the Aunt Viv's? I always like the dark Aunt Viv better than the light skinned Aunt Viv because the light skinned Aunt Viv had some. I don't know, man. She just wasn't.
I mean, I didn't know why until the reunion. Yeah. So it was understandable. So it was just like, oh, okay, well they switched out. Maybe she had another role somewhere that paid more money. Like I was young. I didn't know anything about. They got into beef. Yeah. This was what happened, and then boom, bam, pop. Yeah. So. But they squashed it over the years.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
They're good.
And I like how he even went outside of movies and he has his own little like series on YouTube that him like just everyday life of Will Smith and I'm over here and I'm doing this. That I really like. It's like, man, that's wow. I'm actually seeing the real. I mean, it ain't the real Will Smith because of course
part of it.
But a lot of it is him. I'm like, oh, so this is. I like this dude. This dude is pretty cool. All right, I thought I liked you from Fresh Prince, but I actually like this dude. Now this dude is a good dude.
Hey, you evolve.
Yeah, you
evolve. You evolve.
That's what's up, man. I've never heard any of his songs. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never heard any.
You ever seen the movie Wild Wild West?
No. I never seen. I mean, I know what the movie is, but
I've
never.
Get with it. No.
Yeah, well, no. Let me say a correction. My bad. I'm talking about when he was with Jazzy Jeff, when he was making like his first album.
You've heard some. Yeah. You heard Summertime.
No, but that was before the Jazzy Jeffs.
No, that was all his music is all him and Jazzy Jeff.
But I'm talking about when he got broke. I ain't talking about when he came back. I'm talking about when he first was rapping with Jazzy Jeff.
You've heard. Matter of fact, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Just don't understand. Girls ain't nothing. Trouble.
I never heard. I heard the parents don't understand. I heard that once. I'm like, okay.
A dog a legend. Already in the making, dog.
Yeah.
He gonna be on her next.
Yeah. Hey, for sure. We could definitely. Hey, man, I know we're gonna have some topics on that. But yeah, I always the summertime, that get jiggy with it, welcome to Miami, all of that. I used to hate when the rappers be like, oh man, Will Smith trash. It's like, but
It's because he didn't curse.
not only that, it's like some songs can't be bar driven. You know what I'm saying? Like certain songs, it has to relate to people, and sometimes you got to take the bars out. I mean, you got to keep the bars in, but not like heavy bars like that. Not like no Eminem type.
Started reading this book, and he mentioned that everybody used to call him soft because of it.
Yeah, I never understood. I'm like, man, y'all tripping, but he killed Summertime. He killed Welcome to My, like, what y'all on? What if I was a rapper back then? I made it. I would have featured him. Like, man, y'all tripping, boy. Like,
he had his own style of music.
Yeah, I liked it though. I loved it. You could play it in front of the kids. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was,
everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of any other actors that rapped, so I can compare him against them. I don't know.
50 Cent.
But 50 can't. He's a rapper though. Like he.
I don't think anybody that I know of that started off with music and then switched all the way.
Okay, so I know this is a.
Oh, Ludacris.
He started off as an actor?
No, he started off as rapping, then he's in the acting field now.
Yeah, but he's mainly a rapper. But see, Will Smith is mainly an actor. I'm just trying to see a mainly actor that dibbled and dabbled into rap. Like for an example, Shaquille O'Neal, he started as an NBA player. He did a rap album or two, but nonetheless, his main focus is just basketball, NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Ludacris, his main focus is not Tyrese Gibson. His main focus is acting. He started off as that everybody's milk chocolate singer, and then he went into acting.
Yeah. I don't know. I just look. Yeah.
But we all know Will Smith is better than Tyrese.
Oh yeah, of course. All right. Well, man. Well, you got through it, man.
Hey.
This is a podcast. I even threw my thing down because it's just like, man, let's just.
Hey, appreciate you for having me.
First, dog. Like that's awesome, bro. You got good vibes, good energy, bro.
Thank you.
Definitely, I could definitely say you could definitely keep a convo. You should do more podcasts. Like you're awesome, bro.
I mean, we'll see who reaches out. You were literally the first person to ever reach out to me to talk to me about interviewing me, period. Like,
for sure.
So I can consider this my first official interview, and then when I make it, we'll have more.
For sure. And anyone of y'all want to get on the track, you know what I'm saying? You let me know, you know what I'm saying? Let the competition begin. I got my mic is in there for the vocals. I got Pro Tools. I mix down and everything. So let me know.
That'll be great, man. That'll be great.
All right, man, for sure, bro.
Thanks for having me,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Hey, shout out to the listeners.
Yes, sir.
Remember, every day is game day.
And make sure y'all go to his website. I'm not playing. Go to his website. Check it out. If y'all need some booking, some photography, video work, y'all book him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down for the work. I'm down for the creation.
Y'all get at him and SP-image
SR hyphen imaging.com.
All right, so go to that.
It's on my IG. I'm sure he's gonna tag me.
Yeah. What's your IG?
Kemo Rashad, KEMO RASHAD _.
For sure.
Peace. I like these mics.